and support needed for academic success. We believe that Black student literacy is and should be a priority. As a reminder, the restrooms are behind me and to my left. And I guess also to your right. Also, we have a timekeeper who will be helping us to stick to our agenda. Our timekeeper is Malika. And finally, as this room reaches capacity, in Jesus' name, we will be accommodating the overflow crowd with seats. Thank you for your cooperation in making this an incredible community action meeting.
Thank you, Tanya. You guys notice I changed my look a little bit. I put my glasses on. I don't know what I thought I was doing up here early when I had my glasses on. I get to a word and be stumbling all over the place. But here we go. Thank you, Tanya. Again, my name is Kelly Beckford, and I will be your chairperson this morning. Let me do a quick overview of our goals for this morning. We will address improving Black student literacy in Los Angeles County schools. We'll develop a colleagueship for the accountability of Black student achievement program and funding for Black student literacy. And we will define our priorities for a comprehensive community-based Black student literacy program. I am excited for this morning's meeting. Are you excited? Woo! Then let's jump right into it. Next, I would like to introduce LaQuisha Bryant. LaQuisha is an avid volunteer and advocate for public education, children, and families. Over the past decade, LaQuisha has served as a board member for numerous nonprofit organizations, such as the California State PTAs, the Precious Unis Women's Foundation, and the American Youth Soccer Organization. LaQuisha is also a founding member of the ABC Unified School District's Black Family Circle Parent Advisory Committee, as well as the Innovate Public Schools State Leader Board. It has always been a deep passion of LaQuisha to advocate on behalf of children and families, and believes all children deserve to have champions fighting for their future. LaQuisha, will you come to the board?
Thank you, Kathy. Good morning, everyone. Such a pleasure to see you all here this morning. We are the Black Parent Network, better known as BPN. We are a community of parents from diverse backgrounds and various school districts who come together to address the unique challenges and experiences faced by Black students in the education system. We aim to empower parents with the knowledge and skills necessary to effectively navigate the educational landscape, advocate for their children's needs, and foster their academic success, well-being, and overall development. Our primary mission is to advocate for equitable and quality education for Black students by providing support, resources, and a collaborative platform for parents to share their experiences, exchange information, and develop strategies to promote positive change within the education system. We believe this is accomplished through fostering strong partnerships with schools, educators, policymakers, and other stakeholders to ensure Black students receive fair treatment, access to opportunities, and culturally responsive education. In doing so, we work towards dismantling systemic barriers and advocating for educational policies that eliminate disparities and enhance outcomes for Black students. As a member of Innovate Public Schools, since 2018, we have been organizing alongside other parent groups throughout the district to build our power collectively as parents of color and to advocate for the needs of our students.
Thank you, LaQuisha. I have another prop you guys. I'm hot now. Okay. Oh, okay. Next on our agenda, we'll have 3 testimonies from our parent leaders and students. Destiny Newell, Quazir Buford, otherwise known as Q, and Lou Walker. Will you please come up to the mic?
Cool t-shirt.
Hi everyone, my name is Destiny Newell, and I'm the mother of two amazing daughters who are currently navigating the Los Angeles Public School District, and two more on the way. My first years in school started here at LAUSD, where I actually didn't learn how to read by the time I left kindergarten. Leaving foster care to live with my grandparents in Kansas City, by the first grade, I found myself repeating the first grade. And it wasn't until I had my oldest that I realized I can't recall how I learned how to read. I just remember not knowing and the stigma and the shame that came with it. I can't remember the adults in my life actually working with me, and I don't say this to blame them, but I think about how my grandfather, the janitor who raised me, could never read, or how my grandmother, who was the school cook, didn't have the capacity of preparing breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a K through college school that she sent us to, where she actually didn't receive pay in exchange for our tuition. I know my grandparents cared about us having a quote-unquote good education, but I know the reality was that they weren't equipped with the tools or the time to ensure that we were thriving in the basic skills like our reading. As a parent, it broke my heart to be this person who would go on to defy all odds, graduate high school early or on time with my AA, and make it all the way through college to eventually lead a preschool and on-site enrichment program for an LAUSD campus. Yet my daughter was not an early reader. I remember leaving campus most nights around 6:45 with my oldest, getting dinner and bath time set while my husband worked and made his way to his graveyard shift, feeling just as unequipped as my grandparents to prepare my oldest to read. My oldest would not actually learn to read until the first grade. And I think about the pressure I put on her or the guilt I felt as a parent that I was failing my child. Then the pandemic hit at the end of her first grade year, and I'm sure many of you in this room can attest to how this deeply impacted the trajectory of learning for many of our Black and Brown students. It was then that I started to reflect and try to think about how I learned how to read and how I became this ferocious reader by the time I was in the 5th grade. And I realized for me, it wasn't until I entered public school the year prior. I remember my 4th grade teacher taking the time to read with me and support my needs and finding books that would interest me, reading out loud to me and my classmates. And I just remember how much he worked with each of his students and how much of an impact that made. I have the opportunity and what I would like to call the privilege of working from home these days, so my life looks a little different than it did when my oldest was in these primary years. But I still find myself struggling to support my youngest as she's about to enter kindergarten, finding the support, the resources, the skills, and the ability to ensure that she enters kindergarten with a different trajectory than my oldest. Whether it's hooked on phonics, attempting to actually use it, rejecting the sight words this time around, I know that as a working parent, I need more support from the district and educators on ensuring that we are really equipping students in the classroom for success, starting as early as pre-K. My own father is 66 years old. I'd like to leave you guys with this today. And he still cannot read. As I help him navigate the world, I'm constantly reminded of how much reading matters in everyday life and that reading is a right that we should all have. Thank you.
Okay, hello, my name is Quaz Atkins. I would like to say Black student literacy is important to all when it comes to reading, writing, or speaking. I believe that everyone has access to learning devices such as phones libraries, and much more. Black students should limit their knowledge when they can achieve greater heights so they can become successful in life outside of school. Don't be afraid to stay after class and get extra help when you need it. Ask questions. Never limit yourself from extra information. Don't let the area you grow up in limit your potential to be the shooting star that helps or makes a powerful impact in this world.
Come on, Q.
Hello everyone, I am Lou Walker. I am a parent and an educator from the Antelope Valley area, that's northern Los Angeles County. As an educator, I actually was a substitute teacher in addition to a full-time job. And I'm not sure if you are all familiar with the Antelope Valley area, still part of LA County. There are additional challenges to getting a good education, like racism, severe systemic racism, where we have some of the nation's highest racial disparities right here in LA County. And I would walk into the classroom often, and usually teachers would, not know that I was an Afro-American, and they would leave a note for me. Watch out for little Tyreek. Watch out for Jamal or Tim Jackson. So already there is this assumption about Black boys. I walk into a classroom and they sat at the same table, away from the other students. And this was not too long ago. So I joined the Black Parent Network because this is a task that's going to take many people. I joined the Black Parent Network to participate, to be an active participant as a mother, as an educator, as a friend, as an auntie. To fix systemic issues, we need systemic solutions. And it starts here. It starts with you in the audience, those who showed up, those who are responding. And I can't wait to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Destiny, Q, and Deanna, for your courage and your compelling testimonies. We know that many of us have our own stories of pain and worry, just like we heard from these three individuals. Unfortunately, we do not have time this morning to hear all of our stories, but we do want to acknowledge them. One thing we can express is that we are thankful to be here and have come together for a common purpose. Take a moment right now, right from where you are sitting, and shout out the name of a child, student, or parent that compelled you to come here today. 1, 2, 3, go. I hope that being here today helps us recognize that we are not alone. It is these stories and names that motivate us to keep fighting, but it is also the data that drives our demand for more resources and support for our students. In addition to the stories that you have just heard, we would like to share with you some of the research data that not only provides context, but keeps us pressing forward. Now we're going to hear a little bit about the research from Tony Hicks and Lou Walker, but first let me give them a proper introduction. Lou Walker is a parent, advocate, and human rights advocate in Los Angeles County. She currently serves as the president for the National Action Network, Antelope Valley chapter. She has extensive experience researching systemic challenges, and she is excited to work with organizations like the Black Parent Network to not only listen and respond to the needs of the community, but to do so effectively and efficiently so that we can provide the solutions Black people are often denied repeatedly systemically. She'll bring her own seat to the table or a whole new table altogether if she needs to. I love that you. Okay. Tony is an educational consultant specializing in parent and community involvement. Mr. Hicks has worked in the public school system for more than 30 years and is the parent of 3 children. He earned his college degree in recreation administration and has received extensive training in the areas of child development and parent community involvement, including being certified by the California Parent Center and San Diego State University Research Foundation and School, Family, and Community Partnerships. Mr. Hicks' experience includes working in the classroom, serving on councils and committees, coordinating the activities of parent liaisons, training parents, conducting workshops, mentoring students, training staff, hosting a cable TV show, and leading instructional audits. Currently, his services include trainings, individual coaching, assessments, resource and team building, teaching at the Parent Institute for Quality Education, and serves on various boards and organizations. So now we'll hear from Tony and
Thank you, Kelly. And sorry for the long bio. It's because I'm old. Why? Thank you. But I want to take time to thank everyone that took time out of your busy Saturday to show up here, whether you're a student, an educator, parent, or community member. The research is clear. Mastering literacy by 3rd grade is absolutely critical to students' long-term success. By 3rd grade, students should transition from learning to read to reading to learn. Students who are not at grade level in reading by the end of 3rd grade rarely catch up. They are 4 times less likely to graduate from high school. Far too many children in California are not reading on grade level by the end of 3rd grade, and they finish elementary school without the literacy skills they need to succeed in middle and high school. And for our Black students, it is even worse. Here at the secondary level, the focus of literacy has dramatically shifted to more advanced skills such as critical analysis, research, and writing across various subjects. But imagine what that feels like when you haven't mastered the basic skills at the elementary levels. In California, 7 out of 10 3rd grade students, that's 73%, have not met grade level standards in English language arts. Thank you.
Well, I really did carry a table in my trunk, by the way, just in case I need to present. 65% of Black 3rd graders in Compton Unified and 72% of Black 3rd graders in LAUSD are not meeting literacy standards. Across Los Angeles County, 69% of Black students were not on grade level in English, and now I will share a brief video. In recent LAUSD board meeting, staff shared an update on student progress after receiving various targeted literacy and numeracy interventions. The results were promising. They shared middle of the year iReady assessment data that showed improvement this year in literacy scores for all students across the district. Staff reported that preliminary data shows that 20% of K through 2nd grade students moved from well below benchmark to below benchmark, and 9.6% of students moved to on benchmark. This is a slight improvement for all students, but we also need to know what kind of growth Black students specifically are experiencing from these interventions. In addition to sharing data for all students, we need to see middle of the year iReady data for Black students and see how many made improvements in literacy and numeracy. We don't know. Despite asking for it, we still don't have the data. So we need all of you to do something right now. We will never be able to move forward without knowing the truth about where we currently stand. We need LAUSD and Compton Unified to release 2023-2024 iReady data specifically for Black students. So we have a quick activity we need all of you to do right now. Scan this QR code you see on the screen and tell your district that sharing this data with the community is important. Parents play a critical role in supporting our Black students, but the district is not engaging us in a collaborative way. We need them to show us this data. At a recent Compton Unified School Board meeting, district staff shared a mid-year update that did include disaggregated IRED assessment data. At the beginning of the year, only 26% of African American students district-wide were on grade level in reading. Thank you, Compton, for sharing this critical data disaggregated by student group. Now we need you to share where Black students land on literacy today. Where are they now halfway through the year? What has the overall impact to them as a result of the interventive strategies implemented? Call to action. Scan this QR code to tell Compton Unified that sharing regular updates on this data disaggregated by student groups with the community is important. You're telling them why it's important, why Black student literacy is important. Our vision is that all Black students in California are attaining or exceeding grade level standards in not only reading but all aspects of literacy, especially right here in our communities. Compton Unified, Los Angeles Unified districts, all of LA County, all of us up there in Antelope Valley. Before I pass it back to Kelly, we wanted to share a resource. LAUSD and Compton Unified are using instructional assistants and interventionists to work with small groups or individual students to improve their literacy skills. We believe these programs can have significant impact, but we want to make sure Black students and their families know these interventions exist and are getting prioritized for these programs. When you registered, you were given a handout that lists some of the programs currently being offered. Please review this and talk to your child's teacher or principal if you believe they benefit from any of these. Thank you.
So far this morning, you have heard us articulate the pain and the dreams we carry for our students and celebrate the greatness we know all of our children and students have. You have also heard our perspective on the barriers keeping our students from reaching their full potential. Now we come to vision time, because where parents lead, results follow. We are now going to share our 5 strategic priorities, otherwise known as FACTS. That's F-squared-A-C-T-S.
Hello again. As a reminder, my name is Tanya Craft Perry. I am a parent leader on the state leaderboard and Black Parent Network with Innovate Public Schools. I am a wife, mother of 3 children, and a dedicated advocate, educator, and servant leader in my community of Compton, California. I work diligently to create a safe and supportive environment within which all students and their families are seen, heard, welcomed, and empowered to succeed. To quote the late, great Chadwick Boseman, "Purpose crosses disciplines." Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. These words are especially meaningful today as we go into our priorities. Our first priority is focused instruction of literacy skills. Literacy is more than reading. Dr. Liz Brooke states, literacy leads to personal empowerment, academic success, informed decision-making, active civic participation, improved self-esteem, and increased economic opportunities. We need Los Angeles Unified School District and Compton Unified School District to provide comprehensive and recurring literacy instruction that is directly targeted to every Black scholar throughout the district. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Melissa Murray, and I'm a mother of 2 LAUSD students. My son is currently a sophomore in high school, and my daughter is in 7th grade school. They have both received their formal education in LAUSD. I, like Kelly, often tell my children, myself, my husband, and I were their first teachers because I knew the foundational skills my kids would need to be successful in school. I began teaching them at home. When they started their formal education with LAUSD, they were well prepared. As an educator, I've always welcomed parent volunteers in my classroom. Rather than having them make copies or grade papers, I effectively capitalized on their talents and assigned them to work with a small group of students to help advance them academically. This leads me to our second priority, family engagement and development. We're calling on our districts to actively collaborate with, train, compensate parent families, and community members to serve as official literacy ambassadors within schools, similar to Open Reach Successful Liberator model. The Black Parent Network urges LAUSD and Compton USD to develop a colleagueship to train and compensate parents and community members to serve as literacy ambassadors and work alongside teachers in school. We want to know the district is prepared to work with the community and the Black Parent Network to become innovative in approaching Black student literacy. Additionally, it is imperative that LAUSD and Compton Unified meet with the families of every student that has been identified for literacy support and tutoring to determine the best type of intervention for their student, the progress goals for their student, and provide frequent updates on progress throughout the intervention, because we as parents know our kids best.
I am Keisha Bryant, and I have the honor and pleasure of serving on the Innovate State Board as well as our Black Parent Network. I have 2 daughters, Monet, who is a junior, and Clea, an 8th grader in the ABC Unified School District. My approach to parenting and my girls' education has always been to be fully in the mix. So, I've always served on the PTA, School Site Council, LCAP Parent Advisory Committee, and it's also why I pushed to create our Black Parent Advisory Committee for the district. This has granted me the inside knowledge and power to promote and foster transparency and accountability at our school sites and throughout our district. In my experience, these are critical factors to ensure children and families are protected and properly served in public education, and why our third priority is accountability and transparency. LAUSD and Compton USD have and are using instructional assistants and interventionists to work with small groups of students and individual students under the supervision of a certified teacher to improve English learning and math. The Black Parent Network is pushing to establish, maintain, and support a community-based oversight committee that will regularly and interdependently observe, audit, and report on the impacts of the program with reliably accurate literacy assessment data for LAUSD and Compton USD. Some of the questions we have as a community are: 1, is the use of interventionists and high dosage tutoring working for Black students? How can we expand it to serve more Black students? Will the district commit to more regular reporting out of data to the community of disaggregated by race, ethnicity, school, region, and community of school? Is there a requirement for every teacher to meet with the parents of Tier 2 and Tier 3 students to clearly share where their student is and their plan to help them grow?
Again, my name is Lou Walker. I am a parent educator advocate. with the Black Parent Network. Aggie Walker, parent advocate activist with the Black Parent Network, National Action Network, NAACP formerly. I am a Sigma Gamma Rower. And our fourth priority is community partnerships. The Black Parent Network would like the district to intentionally and consistently reach out to Black families and community-based organizations and see us as the Black student experts in an effort to create and maintain partnerships, hear the needs of students, and share information. We are asking to be experts on Black people and Black students and Black needs. There is a need to leverage the voices of Black families in the literacy and advancement of Black students. When Black parents, caregivers, families, and community partners are involved in the academic environment, positive relationships and results will happen. For that to happen, there needs to be full transparency with disaggregated data that reflects the current literacy level of Black students. Now, I just want to stress, we are not begging for help. We are inviting folks to help. The community, along with the Black Parent Network, wants to know that LAUSD and Compton USD, as well as other districts in LA County, will commit to partnering with community-based organizations that have researched best instructional practices to advance the literacy needs of Black children. Commit to partnering with community-based organizations that are vetted by the community to provide literacy support after school, and commit to explaining the scope and sequence for each grade level so parents are aware of the literacy needs of our students and our children. I just want to stress again, especially with Black history, how it's often denied. We can't even learn our own history. We have people still actively fighting to teach Black history, where we come from, so we can know where we're going. And I want to stress, we have a whole D9 group, we have all of these organizations, ACLU, everyone that needs to make a collaborative effort. And I say it's okay to draw that line in the sand here for the advancement of Black people and literacy for our students, which is fundamental, which is foundational. Because there is a link with literacy rates to prison populations. They're using that data, but we can't get data for our students. They're using data to build prisons, to calculate costs. And we're asking these districts to be transparent with us. Let us know how our students are testing. What are their challenges? Please communicate with parents. And that's why we're here. I just want to reiterate that. We can be that solution. So, Anthony?
So, good morning. My name is Anthony Perry II. I am a 7th grade student at Compton Community College and Compton Unified School District. Our final priority is targeted Black student literacy funding. LAUSD has committed $125.4 million towards the Black Student Achievement Plan, and Compton Unified of the $267 million for state funds, $78 million is generated based on the enrollment of high-need students. We would like to see some of funds directly, especially for Black student literacy in grades K through 3rd and LAUSD and Compton Unified. The Black Student Network wants LAUSD and Compton Unified to direct targeted funding for Black student literacy and assist in the advocacy for student level funding. Statement. We want direct funds to ensure the plan is implemented and successful. Thank you.
Okay, we've heard the research report that highlights where we are. We have heard testimonials that are the voices of those that are dealing with the lack of focused literacy. And we have shared our priorities that specifically addresses Black student literacy. Now we have a call to action that will address the college shift that we are pursuing between families, community partners, and districts. I'll turn it over to Lou to get us all aligned on the same page.
You know I have to do the call to action. From the National Action Network. And I got one in Los Angeles too, so we are connecting everyone. Either they're for us or they're in the way. Our hope is that this is the beginning of a new type of alliance with these districts.
Yes.
Today is the start and not the end. We have heard about your plans and seen your presentations in district meetings, but now we want the opportunity to engage in an honest way about the challenges and be brought in as true colleagues in shaping the solution. The first step toward doing that is getting a very clear picture on the data, which not only includes the results, but the sample size in order that the data is put into its proper context. So remember, for years, systemically, they've been giving us our context. What are the literacy interventions being provided to Black students? How many are actually participating in? What is the outcome? We want a real conversation about these concerns, and we want to be able to share openly with each other through courageous conversation, our perspectives and our barriers we attempt to hurdle on a consistent and regular basis. Becoming trusted and essential partners in finding solutions demonstrates your willingness and commitment to elevate our children. For our district administrators, both at Compton, Unified, and LAUSD, and other areas of Los Angeles County, we request a follow-up meeting on 5/17 to review and discuss the available data in whatever format you can provide in order that we move forward with our initiative in the most effective manner. Our hope is that you will move forward with us, but know that we are going to move forward with this initiative regardless. What we are all experiencing together right now in this church is a train leaving the station. You get on board or get out the way. Our invitation is for everyone, teachers, district leaders, parents, community members, for all the families and community members here today, join us. We are not seeing the progress that we need. We have run out of time waiting on others to save us.
Come on.
So let's build that ladder. Let's build that rope and get ourselves up. We need to be present, consistent, and organized in our efforts to keep districts accountable until we get what we need for our babies, for our kids, for our students. I'm sorry. If we can get everyone to stand up with me if you're getting on this train. Let's see who's getting on the train. Let's not problem or something.
Because our ancestors did a lot more than just get us. Thank you. Now that we're all on the soul train.
Soul train.
Okay, once again, just to repeat our next step, you can sing. Thank you. Here's what you can do to support all Black students through our Literacy is Life campaign. Come to our next meeting on June 6th at 7 p.m. You can scan the QR code to send a message to the district that we need to see the data on our Black students. Here's what you can do to help your student. Don't assume what you hear and read on the website is actually happening for your student. Talk to your child's teacher and principal and see what VSAP programs or other programs are on their campus. What tutoring programs are available to them, and if they would benefit from an interventionist. In order to continue this movement, we would like to invite the audience to commit to Literacy is Life with this QR code that is on the screen. You are invited to join us at our next team meeting again on June 6th at 7 p.m. We will send more information over the next couple of weeks. And at this time, please fill out your commitment cards. I believe they were given out as we came. And we've reached the end of the road today, you guys. This is not the end of our journey. So thank you to our families, students, community partners, and caregivers. We also want to thank the Innovate staff for all the behind-the-scenes work to make this call of action a success here today. Thank you to each person. Thank you to each person that was part of this program today, from our testimonials to our research report to our strategic priorities and our call to action. We want to thank our interpreters from New Voice for their support with translations. Lastly, we want to give a big thank you to Pastor Nelson, Lady Nelson, and the chief partners and allowing us to use their facility today with this call to action today. We will be following up with you after today's action. We also ask you all to go back to your respective schools and organizations and report to them on what happened here today. We will also send you a letter detailing what we heard you say and commit to today. We know that this is a step toward colleagueship. We plan to continue to do our part, and we want you to do yours. Thank you for your commitment to Black student literacy and the Black Parent Network. We look forward to continuing this alliance. Thank you so much.